Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys we are going to be opening up a Lair of Darkness structure deck. So this recently got released to us this past Friday. It came out, and I feel that this structure deck has a lot of potential. We recently had YCS Memphis, and granted we didn't see in the top 32 any structure decks top in there or any variation using the field spell or anything of that nature, but I think still that this structure deck has a lot of potential once it is untapped. So without further ado, let's get into the opening, but I always love reading the back of the structure deck first. So Duelist beware, this shall forever be known as the day the darkness Diabolos and the terrifying tyrants of torment descended upon the earth in this structure deck Lair of Darkness. These wicked shadow lords boast immense power, but demand heavy tribute from any duelist who seeks to wield it. This 41 card themed deck is playable right out of the box and synergizes well with other dark strategies. Yes, there's my most epic voice, but let's open this thing up. So I'm very excited for this structure deck. I have been waiting for it to come out. There's multiple different ways you can play it. You can play it with the Infernoids, which is one of the most popular builds, using the field spell along with other tribute cards as well. So a lot of people have been trying out that version of the deck, which I think has a lot of potential, but I think one of the main cards that people are overlooking that has a lot of potential is Lily, Lady of the Laminate, which we'll talk about more in a second. But let's go and look at the playmat. Oh my gosh. Why can't these be rubber paint playmats, Konami? Like, I've been waiting years for Konami just to make rubber paint playmats of these. And on the back, they talk about the plays you can do, new product. They're promoting Flames of Destruction, which comes out recently, and Dark Salvation, which I can't wait to play. Some of the cards out of there. Stuff of that nature. So that's the paper playmat with promotion stuff. It's always good if you just don't know the basic things, and then you got your beginner's guide. Talks about some of the cards, how the field spell works. So let's get into the opening, which you guys are all here for. And like I said, there's multiple different ways you can play this deck. The main way I plan to play it is I was thinking about running it, running in the Infernoid build, but I want to run like the virus engine with the deck. Like, I really want to run the viruses because I've always loved the viruses, no matter which ones they have been throughout the course of the year's history. And so I kind of want to play a version more using things like Lilith, which is a very good card. So this card is very, very good. I'm going to read you guys the effect very quickly here. It says, if this card is normal summoned, its original attack becomes 1,000, which helps it become a virus target. You contribute 1 dark monster. Reveal 3 normal trap cards. Your opponent randomly chooses one from your traps from your deck. I'll rephrase that. Reveal 3 normal trap cards from your deck. Your opponent randomly chooses one from it to set on the field and shuffle the rest back into the deck. You can only use the effect of Lilith once per turn. So it's a very good card. You can search evenly matched any of the viruses, any just normal trap cards. I think she has a lot of potential in the future to be the best card out of this deck, more so than the field spell, although the field spell has a lot of potential as well. Then we have one Dark Diabolos, which is the new card, which has 2 effects. I'll read it to you guys. Your opponent can't tribute this card face up on the field, and can't target it with card effects. You can only use the effect of Dark Diabolos, Lord of Lair, once per turn. So it can't be Kaiju'd, which is really nice. The first effect is if a dark monster you control is tributed, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from the graveyard, which is great. It kind of has a Grapha Reborn in that way. If it was there during the tribute or hand. You contribute 1 dark monster. Your opponent places 1 card from their hand on either the top or bottom of the deck, which is really cool. So those are the 2 effects you have mainly. It can reborn itself, and it can kind of sort of rip cards out of your opponent's hand. Then we have Arhemi. I can't pronounce it properly. This is pretty much like a Commandant, Harpy's Queen, whatever the case may be. It pretty much just, you pitch it to the graveyard, add your field spell directly from your hand, which is this card right here, Lair of Darkness, which if you guys have already seen this video and learned a little bit about this, this is what people are playing mainly along with this and one Diablos in many Infernoid builds and many different other things. This card pretty much involves tributing to get their effects off, which I'll just read the card very quickly. All face-up monsters on the field become dark, which is kind of like a zombie world. Once per turn, if you would tribute a monster you control to activate a card effect, you contribute one dark monster your opponent controls, even though you do not control it. Once during the end phase, special summon as many tokens, Fiend, Dark, level 3, 1000 attack, 1000 defense, as possible to the turn player's field in defense position up to the number of monsters tributed this turn, while this card was in face-up. So that's one of the reasons why people are trying as many different tribute ways to make this card busted. It has a lot of potential, but right now we have not been able to crack it. Now this is the new virus card, which is actually pretty good. I'll read this to you quickly. I'm sorry I'm going over the new cards, but they're pretty cool. Tribute one dark monster with 3000 or less attack. Your opponent destroys one card of their choice in their hand or deck for every 500 attack that monster had on the field. So that can really rip apart an opponent's hand. If you tribute a monster with 2000 or more attack to activate this card, look at all cards your opponent draws until the end of the third turn after this card's activation and destroy all monsters among them. That's pretty good. Cards destroyed and sent to the graveyard by this card effect can't activate their own effects the same turn. So you don't have to worry about their effects kicking off, which is pretty dang good. So that's one of the other cards. And the last one we have, which is new, is Dark Shade, the Sinister Shadow Lord, which pretty much works with all the other dark monsters and tributes. I'm not going to go over him, but these guys here are the main ones, and these are the hollows you're getting. Then we have Old Diabolos, Old Lich Lord, which nobody uses. And we have, what are you? Prometheus, King of Shadows, Archfiend, First Lord of Horror, which I never can write. Horror! This card's actually good in Archfiends. Caius, which actually need a reprint. This card's really good in Monarchs as a one-of. Legendary Maju Gazette, very good card if you can get it out. Vanity's Fiend, which is a pretty dang good reprint. Mist Archfiend, which I used to use to make level 5 Exceed plays back in the day. Infernal Dragon, Archfiend Cavalry, which is a good reprint. If you want to play Archfiends, you pretty much can play that along with the deck. Stygian Street Patrol. Phantom of Chaos is actually a really good reprint because even the commons were getting expensive if you guys were paying attention online. Plague Wolf, not really. Fiendish Rhino Warrior, very, very good card. Curry Bandito. I want a Curry Bandito. Somebody send me a Curry Bandito. I've been wanting one for years. But Curry Bandit. Tour Guide reprint. I'm hoping Tour Guide goes back to more than one of. Absolute King Blackjack. This was going up in price. Pretty good reprint. Reborn Karibo. Pretty good card, actually. Reoccurring Nightmare. Good reprint. Allure of Darkness. Always a good reprint because every time it gets reprinted, it goes to a $3, $4 card. Hand Destruction. Wow, this is in here. I forgot about this. Foolish Bearer of Goods. Very, very underrated good card, actually. Boogie Trap. Pretty cool card, actually, when it came out. Fires of Doomsday, which I've heard some people say, along with the Dark Link monster, people may play this. I do not know. I have not tried it out yet. Veil of Darkness. Crush Card Virus with its errata. If it did not have its errata, it'd be broken in this deck. Deck Devastation Virus, which against certain matchups is pretty good. Eradicator is good just about against any deck out there because pretty much all decks rely upon spells in some shape or form for the most part. And Full Force Virus, which is actually pretty much one of the better viruses. Dark Light, which can be a good tech card and can be searched out. Trap of Darkness, which is another card. Mind Crush works well with the viruses, actually, but I don't know how well Mind Crush would work nowadays, but it's still a good card, and you can use it along with the viruses to use this deck in a way of going off with the viruses and ripping apart your opponent's hand. We have Rest of the Full Height, Curse of Darkness, Sinister Yoshido, as well as your token and your Duel Links promo card, I guess you could say, where token card as I use them most of the time. So that's pretty much the structure deck in a nutshell, guys. It's very interesting. It works pretty well. There's different ways you can do it. Like I said, a lot of people are hyping up a lot of different ways you contribute. I've seen people use enemy controller. Dark Light was hyped up for a bit. There's a bunch of different ways you can use this deck and play this deck. From playing it with Infernoids, using the field spell, to a whole bunch of other ways. But I hope you guys all enjoyed this opening, and I will probably going to build a virus version of the deck because that's what I've always wanted to play. But yeah, I can't wait. I look forward to building it. And until next time, guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling, and I hope you guys all enjoyed this opening, and if you did, please leave a big thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time. Good luck dueling to all of you guys.